how HTML is used on the website. What is CSS? Hello, Pravers here. In the last video, as we saw that how a website is reaching us, you may have many questions that how we can start building a website, where we should write a code. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about how you can start building your own website by understanding the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. The second thing is where you should write a code. So we are going to use VS Code IDE so that you can build your website in VS Code. So the first thing is HTML. So HTML is hypertext markup language. What is the use of HTML? We have seen many websites and we can see that there are many buttons, tags, headings and many more things that we can see on the website. So how they are built? So these all are built using HTML. In further video, we are going to see how HTML is used on the website. Second thing is CSS. What is CSS? CSS is cascading style sheet. We have seen many websites where we can see button hover effect, slide in effect, fade in fade out effect. So these all are possible using CSS. CSS is adding liveness in our website. Like if we only use HTML, then it is not going to attract any user. So to attract any user, we are adding the CSS which adds liveness to the website. The third thing is JavaScript. Now, JavaScript is most important part for any dynamic websites. Why? Because JavaScript adds actions, validations and dynamic updates to the website. Don't worry about the terminology. Like आपने तो बोल दिया कि dynamic updates है, validations है. So don't worry, we are going to cover it in further. As you have an idea about HTML, CSS and JavaScript, that how it is working on a website. Now let's go to browser and download Visual Studio Code. Now let's go to the browser and search Cockroach Janta Party. Sorry. Let's search VS Code download. Now you are getting a first link code.visualstudio.com. So click on it. You are going to get three options. First is Windows, second is Linux and third is Mac. So we are going to download it for Windows. So I click Windows and you get a pop-up. So define a location here that where you want to store your software. So I save here and it is getting downloaded. So it may take a few time to download it. It's all about your network speed. Now let's go to the location where the VS Code is downloaded. Double click it. Then we need to accept the agreement. If you want to read, you can read. Otherwise, you can click accept and go ahead. Click next. Now click all these buttons. These are necessary because I will explain you it in later. Then click next. Then click on install. Now it is preparing for install. It may take some time to install. So let's wait for it. It is installing. So basically we are going to use VS Code to write our first code or our first website. Now it is installed. Click finish. It will open a VS Code. Now we have an interface for the VS Code. We are going to click on creating file. Then we will create test.html. As we enter, we can see the test.html is created. Now we are going to add snippet for HTML. For that, you are going to write exclamation mark and press tab. Now what is this? This is the snippet for HTML. The first line is telling us that what is the version of the HTML to the browser. Second is what is the language of your website, that is HTML lang equals to en. So it is going to be in the English language. Third thing is header. It is going to contain the metadata about the website, like the title of the website, then what will be the char set, like what is the char set. We are using UTF-8. So what is UTF-8? It is the encoding system that is going to tell browser that if I write any language like Gujarati, Malayalam, Tamil, any language, so exactly show that language on the browser, or even a symbol. Because what happens without UTF, it is going to show us anonymous data. Like if we write a rupee symbol, then it is going to show us anonymous data. It is not going to show us rupee symbol. So for that, we are going to use UTF-8 encoding system. So this is the meta char set UTF-8. Then the second thing is meta viewport. So it is like if you want to build a website for a mobile view as well, so it is going to help you in that. So the third thing is body. So body, just remember one thing, that whatever you show on the website, that will be content inside the body tag. Now you may think that what is this closing tag? So in HTML, whatever you start means whatever tag you start, you must close that tag. So this is the closing tag for body and HTML both. So inside a body, as I told you, that it is going to contain the information that is going to be shown on the website. So for now, for a basic example, we are going to see the H1 tag. So what is H1 tag? H1 tag is showing us that this is the header on the website. So we write H1 hello world. Now you can also write your name. So I am going to write H2 tag. H2 tag is smaller than H1. So I write H2 tag and write Praharsh. And I also close the tag. Okay. Now you want to add a description like a paragraph. So you can use the P tag. So I write P and press tab. If you want a long paragraph, so just write lorem and whatever words you want. So I want 100 words and press tab. So you get 100 words. Now you want to see the result of this website. Like this is going to be a basic example, not a proper website. So don't think that it is going to be a proper website. So we are going to see the result for this website. So go to extension. I am going to give you extension that is going to help you to run this code. So search live server. The first extension you are seeing, then click on it and install it. It is installing. Okay. Now it is installed. As soon as it is installed, you can see here that we can see go live button at the bottom of the VS Code. So when you click go live button, your code will run and you can see the result on the browser, as we can see right now. So this is going to be our paragraph that we have written inside the P tag. Praharsh, that is written inside the H2 tag, is smaller than the hello world that is written into the H1 tag. So congratulations to you that you have written your first HTML code, or we can say the first code of your life, maybe. To summarize this session, we have discussed about the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Then second part was about downloading VS Code, and third part was about how we can write the code inside the VS Code and run it. Now, in the next session, we are going to discuss about important tags in the HTML that is going to help you in building your website or any software that is web based.